Good evening and welcome to the Murray City Municipal Council City Council meeting. It is September 19, 2023 and 6:35. I'm Gary Harakasi, the council chair, and I'll be conducting the meeting tonight. All council members are present, as well as Brooke, the mayor, attorney GL, and Jennifer is here as well, our executive director. We're calling this meeting to order, and we're very lucky tonight. We have kind of a celebrity here with us, the former First Lady of Murray, Miss Ruth Iyer, has agreed to do the Pledge of Allegiance for us, so thank you. Come to the front to the podium.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Appreciate you. And we will move forward. There are no minutes to be approved tonight, so we're going to move on to special recognition. And so for the Murray City Employee of the Month, Isaac Zenger from our IT department, and the mayor and I will go to the podium. Where's your mic, Mayor?
I'm going to get it
For you. I'll use this. I'll be kind of Bob Barker-ish. You can be. All right. Do you want me to read it first? Okay. I got this. I'm good. So this is our Employee of the Month recognition for Isaac Zenger. Isaac was tasked with the assignment of being the primary person for setting up the networking infrastructure of the new City Hall. This process started years ago, shortly after groundbreaking, coordinating with the contractors to make sure we have the correct number of conduits in the ground for our connected services for both the main City Hall side and the police side. He also contacted and worked with Utopia at this time to let them know we needed them to get the new building connected, and was involved with our other vendors providing connected services. Getting these services set up included meeting with the vendors multiple times, doing site surveys during the entire build process. Throughout the entire construction process, Isaac also consistently visited the construction site with others in IT to make sure the rest of the IT infrastructure was being installed properly. Isaac also started working several months in advance of the initial completion date with Extreme Networks to design, set up, build, and test the new network architecture for the new building. Additionally, he configured the communication between the old building and the new building so they could run simultaneously for a smooth transition and shutdown of the old building. This also included setting up new firewalls, VPN, and a new wireless network. And so this is the Murray City Employee of the Month presented to Isaac Zenger for his hard work and valuable wisdom in setting up the network infrastructure of the new City Hall for excellent skill set, continuous multitasking, consistent coordination, and dedicated successful achievements, signed by all members of the council as well as the mayor, dated September. And now I'll turn it over to the mayor.
Awesome. Thanks, Gary. Oh, yeah, we'll give this to you. So now I've been instructed that it's not going to be on the wall anymore, so don't be acting like it's going to be on the wall. So there you go, and that's $50 right in there, $50. I tried to get him to raise it 100. I don't know why Gary wouldn't do it, but no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. So anyway, but Isaac, let me tell you, I've got to know Isaac over the last, how many years you been here?
10.
10 years. I was going to say I've known you about 12 years, so 10 years. 10 years, and he comes across like he's the most quiet guy you've ever met, and just really straightforward. Then you go to lunch with him and you find out a little different story about him. But anyway, he's a fun guy to be around. He's very intelligent and has done a great service for Murray City, and is from Kauai. Let me just tell you, I think that's cool in itself that he's from Kauai. So anyway, we're lucky to have you here, Isaac, and we appreciate all you do. And we're going to have Rob come in and say a few things. But before we do, we just want to, from the council and the administration, give you a great big hand.
Thank you, Mayor. Council, thank you so much. I don't know what to say that the mayor hasn't already covered, but Isaac, to say that he came and worked a couple of months before the building was built is kind of an understatement. There was so much work that we had to do months, years in advance for this building to get it ready. Isaac was always there, ready to roll up his sleeves and get the work done. He also did a huge project, the OSI, probably about 2-3 years ago. He's just really done a great job for us, and I'm really appreciative of his work and his time that he's taken to work overtime, weekends. I mean, we were all working a lot of overtime to get this building ready, and so it's kind of a collective thanks, IT, but thank you, Isaac, for your extra work and consideration and all that you've done.
So I just want to say thank you to my boss and the council for recognizing the contributions and hard work that we've done in IT. Definitely this is a huge team effort that I definitely could not have done just by myself, required a lot of help with my team members, but I'm glad we were able to get this new building up and going and get network connectivity working with some hiccups along the way, but for the most part, everything's great at this point. So thank you very much.
Isaac, I just want to also give you a personal thanks for always being so patient with me and all my issues with my phone and my iPad, and you're always there. So I really do appreciate it. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Appreciate it. All right, we will move forward. Are you going to need your mic again, Mayor? Are you good? Or you're going to need it again. So we're going to move on to the second special recognition, a presentation of a Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting. Mayor Hales will be presenting. I wonder who's getting that.
Yeah, I wonder who's going to get this since they've had it 42 years in a row. Isn't it in a row? 42 years in a row. Brenda was the very first one to receive. I'm kidding. She's not. She's received it about
You look so
5 years
young,
ago.
Brenda.
No. How long have you been with the city?
12 years.
12 years. My goodness. Her and I are the same. 12 years. She's a lot smarter, but it's 12 years. But anyway, so this is a huge compliment to Brenda and her staff to be able to receive this. 42. When I saw that, I knew we talked about it being so many years, but when I looked at that earlier today, I thought, is that in a row? I remember Brenda telling me this last year. Yes, that is in a row. And I'm thinking, that's impressive. Is our audit done? It's almost done. We've met with Robert, and let me tell you, we're always really lucky or maybe not lucky, talented that Brenda does our finances, because very seldom do we find any. Every once in a while they'll come up with something. They say, well, we got to come up with something. And it's something very minor. So we've been really lucky, blessed in that area. So I'm going to hand this certificate to Brenda, but I'm going to, as you hold that, I'm going to read this real quick. And the annual comprehensive financial report for year 2022 received the Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting. This is the 42nd year that we received it in a row. The Government Finance Officers Association of the U.S. and Canada established the award back in 1945 to encourage and assist state and local governments to go beyond the minimum requirements of generally accepted accounting principles to prepare annual comprehensive financial reports that evidence the spirit of transparency and full disclosure, and then to recognize individual governments that succeed in this achievement with this goal. The goal of the program is not to assess the financial health of participating governments, but rather to ensure that users of their financial statement have the information they need to do them for themselves. So I'm going to ask Brenda to just say a few things to you, but without further ado, really, we are really, Brenda makes everything happen, and she's so good to work with, and she always gives her staff credit, so I won't say that because she's going to give it to them. But thank you, Brenda, and your staff for all you do.
As the mayor said, I have to give my full credit to the staff and to the department heads. The department heads, not only are they very careful in what they spend, they don't mind when I have pesky accounting rules and I have to move things around or do things, or it needs to be in this account and not that account, or how we do it. They just go along, and but they're always very careful, and they will do what we need to do in order to get our finances looking and being what they should be. But my staff, I never have to worry about what they're doing. I can trust them, and we are in the middle of the audit. We have found 2 math errors. We've planted 3 is what we've told him, and he's only found 2. It's not really true, but it's just really great that we continue to apply for this award. They always send back notes. They always find something. This time it was all about the latest GASB 87, which was leases. So it was just semantics on how we presented our leases. Not that it was wrong. It was just that they wanted this word instead of that word and more consistency. So I'm very happy, and thank you.
And if I didn't say, as the person on the council that lives in this world every day, that's very impressive. Businesses don't have this kind of track record with this kind of stuff, even public companies. So it's a testament to you and your team and the fine work that you all do to get this award 42 years in a row. And I think as people would understand the complication in what we do with regards to understanding the standards and applying them, it's pretty extensive. So congratulations. With that, we will move on to citizen comments. So citizen comments will be limited to 3 minutes. Please step to the microphone, state your name and city of residence, and then fill out the required form with Patty. And citizen comment is now open.
You didn't honestly think I wouldn't come up if I was here, did you? My name is Lawrence Horman. As for my address, which is requested, I live where I stand. I am here to advocate for the homeless. And just for the sake of variety, I thought I'd come up with a different subject that might be of use in helping in any particular individual city. It occurs to me that the Salt Lake County has made it legal within the county boundaries, but each city has to make their own decisions on this. For, I can't remember the term, I think you'll probably figure it out for yourselves, but alternative housing possibilities within individual private properties. Where if somebody has a trailer, a camper, a shed, something that they can add onto their property, big enough and properly set up enough for somebody to live in, that this has become a legal thing. It's not as big of a deal as building an add-on to your home. It's an alternative something or other, and I apologize for not being able to remember the exact term. But what it means is that if you look into your city ordinances and laws, you don't necessarily have to change or add any of them. You may have to change 1 or 2, but you could just simply interpret them differently than they are being interpreted to allow somebody to park a motorhome, a camper, an RV, something on their property, whether it's their home or a business property that's privately owned, business properties, any private property, so long as they are living at a reasonable standard, as far as keeping things clean and not causing a problem. Treat them like any other housing within a neighborhood or within an environment. It eliminates it eliminates some of the need for things like shelters and resource centers. It eliminates some of the need for worrying about policing people off of the streets because they have nowhere else to park their camper or their car or somewhere like that. Allowing places like churches that are willing to have parking lots where they allow the homeless to park in their vehicles for those who live in vehicles overnight within certain hours, as long as they keep certain standards. These things would make a huge difference. It would give people a chance to feel like they have a stable place to be so that they can get their head on straight, they can sleep safely, they can sleep comfortably, and then they can go the next day and find work and get cleaned up and do the things they need to so that they can get into better housing and better situations. Thank you.
Hi, I am Sheila Wall, and I am the president and director of the Murray Greenhouse Foundation. I've met a couple of you that have come in and bought flowers from us. I have to say that my association with Murray City over the last, since 2004, has been a very positive experience. We have applied for a grant to help us to expand and have more room so that our students, especially with COVID and their high risk, to spread out and not be so confined in our little house that we've converted to our day program for the disabled. I just want to say thank you for all Murray City has done for us. We have appreciated the support. We've got a permit in for a little sunroom to add on. We're still waiting for that. It's been a long time. We're getting a little frustrated with that, but we really want you to, I wanted to thank you most of all for your efforts and your help. Ruth is our champion. Both her and I have handicapped children, adults, I should say, who, if they did not have the Murray Greenhouse, would not have a place to go. I will get emotional, I'm sorry. And Ted and Ruth were both some of the originating parents that helped us start this program. And I just want to thank you and just consider us for the grant. I thought maybe you were voting on it tonight. If in the future when you do, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'd be happy to talk with any of you, and just thank you so much.
All right, seeing no additional public comment, we will close the public comment section. There's nothing on our consent agenda, so we will move on to the public hearings. The first public hearing is to consider an ordinance amending the city's fiscal year 2023-2024 budget. Brenda Moore presenting.
So I'll be very quick about this. At the end of the year, we had capital projects that were in process or that funds were being saved for future capital projects. Part of this budget opening is to roll those forward. Just so you know, there's a total of $25,214,000 and some change that's being rolled forward in capital projects of various types and in all of the funds. We have just a little bit of new money that's coming out of here. The library received a grant so that they can provide free period products in their lavatories for their clients. The water fund is receiving a capital donation from UDOT for $613,520. We're going to move one of our water lines off of one of their bridges as they replace the bridge, and they're paying 100% of that. We have never actually had concession expenses in the budget for arts, but they've started selling some concessions, so to offset their revenue of $5,000, we're having to put in a expense of $5,000. They actually sell it for a little more than they pay for it, not much, but it is a nice thing at the theater when you go and can buy soda and stuff like that. The other new money is in the capital projects. We're adding another $104,000 to the cost of a big does all truck. I don't know exactly what it does. They say it does everything. That's why they call it a does all. They have ordered it. It's going to cost a little more than we have in the budget, but it's probably not going to get here, especially with the new strike, until July of next year. So we'll put some in the budget next year to finish that project. And then we had some additional salaries coming out of reserves for the change in the economic director's position, and in the water fund, we had a personnel change, and so we needed to pull some money out of reserves to cover that. We're also moving insurance around, and there's a little bit of money coming out of a few of the funds for that. Other than that, it's all just roll forward so that we can continue these projects. And you're going to say, well, it's September. Why, what have they been doing? They've been borrowing the money for next year's projects in order to complete last year's projects, and now they will be able to start the 24 projects.
All right, this is a public hearing, so we will open it to public comment. Comments will be limited to 3 minutes. Please step to the microphone, state your name, city of residence, and fill out the required form. Seeing no public comment, we will close the public hearing portion and turn it to the council for any questions or a motion.
Brenda? Yes. Okay, given all that, and we did have some taken from reserves, are we still okay as far as reserves go? Where are we at?
Yes, the general fund is going to finish last year at 26%, and this small amount that we're actually pulling it out of the capital projects fund and not the general fund reserves. So capital projects, it doesn't matter. It's designed to be spent.
Right. So we're good.
And the general fund will stay at 26-ish,
Perfect.
25 to 26.
And what is the requirement?
I can go up as high as 35 and as low as 5.
Okay.
Thank heavens you don't. Go as low. Thank you, Brenda.
Anything else? Seeing none, is there a motion?
All right, I'll make a motion to adopt the ordinance amending the city's fiscal year 2023-2024 budget.
I will second that.
I have a motion from Councilwoman Turner and a second from Councilwoman Dominguez. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, Brooke, would you call the roll?
Mr. Rogers?
Aye.
Ms. Cotter? Aye. Ms. Dominguez?
Aye.
Ms. Turner?
Aye.
Mr. Harakisi?
Aye. All right, we'll move on to the second public hearing. Consider an ordinance amending section 17.72.070 of the Murray City Municipal Code relating to parking requirements for beauty and barber shops and business and professional offices. And we have Phil Markham and Zach Smallwood already ready to present. Who gets the microphone and who's Bob Barker? Let's see.
Good evening, Council. Zach is going to present tonight. He is the one that did 99% of the legwork on this and coordinated all of this activity through the Planning Commission. And so he will be walking you through all the details and can answer any questions you might have.
Hello again. I don't know why this sounds funny. So this is a request from Live Salons to modify the parking requirements for beauty and barber shops in the city. Currently, we require 3 spaces per chair in beauty and barber salons. And they have a large business that doesn't quite fit that model per se. So they do booth rentals. So they rent out booths to people, and so they have a lot of people coming in and out, and that facility just didn't allow for 3 spaces per chair. So they came to us with a request to modify the parking requirements. So staff did research pretty much every city in Salt Lake County and a few outside of Salt Lake County, like Park City, Roy, Vineyard. And we found that only one other city had the requirement of 3 spaces per chair. The rest of them did it as a 1 space per X amount of square footage of space. That's typically the standard for planning and zoning, is per square foot of space that you have. Staff initially recommended to the Planning Commission that we remove entirely the beauty and barber services and just focus on offices and professional services as a whole. The Planning Commission wanted to modify that and leave beauty and barber services in and just change it to 1 space for every 250 square feet of floor area. So the Planning Commission did vote for to 0 to forward a positive recommendation to the council. So, and that's really all I have. I'm happy to take any questions you might have.
Thank you, Zach. This is a public hearing, so we will begin by opening for public comment. Citizens will have 3 minutes to speak. Step to the microphone, state your name and city of residence, and fill out the required form.
Good evening. My name is Greg Griffin. I live in Salt Lake City. I'm here on behalf of the applicant, Live Salons. And before I get started, I wanted to give gratitude to staff. I'm an urban planner by trade. So sometimes when there's an evolution in the nature of business, whether it's economic, financial, cultural, code and ordinance is kind of a big lumbering beast. It's not known for its nimbleness. And typically what happens when things change in the nature of business, much as we've seen in office occupancy coming out of COVID, what happens is the businesses who are the early adopters tend to take it on the chin because they're not contemplated in the current code and ordinance. And I wanted to give acknowledgement to Mark and Zach and his team for listening in the first place. It's really much easier to just wait for it to become a big deal, show up in a planning magazine, wait until there's something going on. This particular operator, they're sort of a middleman, so they will go rent a very large space, 10,000 feet, and it's not booth rental, it's actually suites. They build it out, so it's complete. And so our platform would be renting to 3 to 4 dozen small businesses. So Shane, who's sitting back there with his 20-some locations, he hosts 1,000 small businesses in his operation. And a lot of what's happening out there in a number of businesses, I'm in real estate, it's the same for us. A lot of fragmentation. Millennials have become very entrepreneurial. We're seeing this suite rental expand in a lot of industries. We will not be the last industry who stands before you in all likelihood for this. And what we realized as we looked at the code is, first of all, for us, a busy day is about 40% occupancy. Because if you and I own a salon together and we're doing chair rental, we want somebody in every seat. We're pushing our employees because that's how we make our money. This model, the suite model, is different. It doesn't matter to them. People work when they want to. It's the flexibility, the entrepreneurship that allows people to do it. And it's no difference than executive suites, a WeWork situation. And we realized that in a couple of the cities here, we have our flagship operation actually is in Murray. It's in the old Greystone Mortgage Building. And what we realized is if you look at it, it doesn't matter if someone's cutting hair. The idea in the code, I believe, is to make sure that we can be a good neighbor, that if there's someone in the barber chair and someone cutting hair and someone waiting, that we're making sure there's adequate parking for it. But it's no different than whether it was the mortgage office or an attorney, someone sitting in the chair, someone in the waiting room. It's basically the same thing. We park out perfectly at professional office at about 4 to 1. So as we work through it, that's kind of what we came to. But I wanted to give some background and understanding that it's not a barbershop saying, hey, we want to have less parking. This is much more than that. So, any questions?
Anything else? Seeing none, we will close the public comment and turn it back to the council for any questions. Seeing no questions, I will take a motion.
I will make a motion to adopt an ordinance amending section 17.72.070 of the Murray City Municipal Code relating to parking requirements for beauty and barbershops and business and professional offices.
I'll second.
I have a motion from Councilman Rogers and a second from Councilwoman Turner. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, Brooke, would you call the roll?
Mr. Rogers?
Aye.
Ms. Cotter? Aye. Ms. Dominguez?
Aye.
Ms. Turner?
Aye.
Mr. Herkesy?
Aye. We will move to our last item on the public hearing agenda. Consider a resolution authorizing donations of non-monetary assistance to or waiving fees for local nonprofit entities. And our Executive Director, Jennifer Kennedy, will be presenting.
Thank you. We just had 3 applications come in for non-monetary assistance. We talked about them in Committee of the Whole, but I'll go ahead and go over them again one last time for you. The first one was from the American Legion. They're requesting park rental fees for an Easter egg hunt they want to have on March 31st of 2024. The second one we received is from, for the Murray Haunted Woods, which is going to be held October 23rd through 25th of this year. And the last one we received was from the Power Department, and that was for the donations that they made for Public Power Days. And I can answer any questions you have.
All right, this is a public hearing, so we will go ahead and open the public comment portion. Comments will be limited to 3 minutes. Please step to the microphone, state your name, city of residence, and fill out the required form. All right, we will close the public comment portion and turn to the council for any questions. Seeing none, I will take a motion.
I make a motion to adopt the resolution authorizing donations of non-monetary assistance to or waiving fees for local nonprofit entities.
I will second that motion.
I have a motion from Councilwoman Cotter and a second from Councilwoman Dominguez. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, Brooke, will you call the roll?
Mr. Rogers?
Aye.
Ms. Cutter? Aye. Ms. Dominguez?
Aye.
Ms. Turner?
Aye.
Mr. Harekesi?
Aye. We have no business items for tonight, so we'll move on to the mayor's report and any questions for the mayor.
I'll keep it short. Joey informed me today that after 2 years, we finally received our Ford F-550 wildland fire truck, and was delivered today, I believe. Is that right? Where's Joey? Is he out there? Yep, delivered today. Both Diane, I beat Diane, I just want you to know before she asked. I said, "No, is this that electric?" And he goes, "No, no." And Diane comes over, "Now the electric?" I asked first, so. It's not the electric vehicle. That was still sold out from under us, but.
I haven't given up hope.
Yeah, well, no, we're going to get it.
Yeah.
We will get it. Look at Joey. He's going like he's crossed his fingers, Diane. Anyway, thanks for we had a little outing today with the department heads and the council and a few others, and it's always good to be able to, in my opinion, to be able to do that. Sometimes the council's been invited and sometimes we weren't invited, and I just want to make sure that that will continue on, that we'll make sure that we invite the council and the administration. So thanks for being with us today.
Thanks for having us. It was really fun.
It was fun.
Appreciate
It
it.
was a lot of fun.
Thank you. And Rosalba, you're a lot better. You're right. I talked to Doug and he goes, "She's good."
Practice, I guess.
All right, is there any questions for the mayor? Seeing none, we are adjourned.